Hi, I'm Tim Cain, the entertainment editor at the Herald and Review in Decatur, Illinois, and I'm here because Austin wants. I'm just back from a vacation in Florida, and I am a landlocked boy. I have been all my life. I grew up in Minnesota, spent a lot of time in Illinois, spent my share of time in Wisconsin. And one of the things that you don't see a lot in any of those three states is really, really long bridges. Don't get me wrong, I know there are bridges. But a really long bridge in Minnesota or Wisconsin or Illinois is a half mile. I mean, a bridge where a mile tops. One where you get on it and you understand that even if your car stalls when you're in the middle of the bridge, you're not going to be a problem walking to one end or the other to get back to land and get things taken care of. There are a number of bridges in the Tampa-St. Pete area in Florida that are incredibly long. And if you're from Tampa-St. Pete, and I'm messing this up, I apologize. I mean, I'm just going on my memory and perception. I don't want to come off as an expert on southwestern Florida. I'm not. I've been there a handful of times, but not enough to be able to say, oh, 4th Street is a hot and happening place to be if you're in Tampa, or the St. Pete strip clubs, boy, they're really aces. I don't know. I get there and I know where I have to go. Thank goodness I have a GPS system. But my memory of St. Pete is there's a pretty long bridge, maybe 2.5 miles, that you have to be on to get from the airport to any place in Tampa/St. Pete. I mean, it's just, that's the airport's on the outside of town, and you get on this bridge. The first time I was on that bridge, it kind of freaked me out. I do have a thing. I'm one of those ninnies who has fears about height and water, and especially water. I really kind of freak out with water, which I know is bizarre because I've talked about going on cruises and flying over oceans and stuff. And when I flew to Jamaica, I about had a nervous breakdown on the plane because I just don't like looking out the window and seeing nothing but blue the entire time. That really bothered me, but got past that. And it's the same with the problem on the bridge in St. Pete. After going back and forth on it twice, going there and coming back, the times I've been to St. Pete since, it's been fine. I've known that bridge was there, and it's like, okay, I know the end is in sight. That's the key. That's the key in St. Pete for me. That's the key in Minnesota and Illinois and Wisconsin is generally I can see the end of the bridge. Because we're in the prairie, let's face it. It's not like you're not going, the bridges aren't arced and stuff like that. Well, that's one of the things in Florida in general I noticed this time. I mean, most of the time when I'm in Florida, I spend time in Orlando because I'm doing Disney things. But this time I was kind of going all over the state because I was checking out spring training baseball. So I'm driving from St. Petersburg, where I'd gone to the Dolly Museum, to Fort Myers, which is a little bit south, probably an hour south. I get on this bridge, and you got no other option. I mean, that's the way you've got to go. And I'm going along, and it's 2 or 3 miles, and I'm starting to get to the point where I'm thinking, this is a pretty long bridge. And then I look out in front of me, and I took a picture of this and posted it on Facebook. And in no way does the picture show it in any way, shape, or form how terrifying it was for me to be on this bridge, because what you see in the picture is a really long bridge. Obviously I'm in the middle of a really long bridge, and you see a whole bunch of cars stringing out ahead of you. But what I saw from my car and what I could not capture with a photograph is that the cars were all going like this. They're all going straight uphill. And I can't see the top of the hill, and I don't know what's on the other side. I'm trusting that on the other side there will continue to be the bridge. But I'm not positive it's there because I haven't seen it before. And I had my iPod hooked up into the car stereo system and all this stuff, and somehow I managed to grab my phone and take a picture of this, with my hand shaking before but I had shut off the music because I was freaked out by what I was driving on, And obviously, I got to the other side. I survived it. That night when I went back, fortunately, I didn't have to drive that way. I was going back across the state. So instead of going north back into Tampa St. Pete, I was able to just go east and get to where I was going that way. I made the mistake of telling people that I was hanging out with in Florida that I kind of have a bridge thing. So every time we'd have to go on like a little bridge, like, like those little, like you got the stream that you could jump across, or, you take 2 steps and be across, and they've got those little foot bridges. Well, can you handle this bridge, Tim? Yes, I can handle that bridge because I can see the end of it. I'm telling people, the people I was with, I was convinced that this bridge had to be 10 miles. Oh, I don't think that's a 10-mile bridge, Tim. And that was, and ultimately I kind of pulled it back. Maybe 7 miles. I should go check and see how long it is. I don't know, but it was long enough to scare me, all right? And the beauty of this is now I tell people the story, and everybody's got to one-up me. Everybody's got to one-up me. It's not enough that I froze going across this bridge. Now, oh, you think that's bad? You ought to drive to Key West and be on that one bridge that's only got one lane and it wiggles back and forth. And yes, you're right. You're absolutely right. Oh, Oregon, you go to Washington. That's all you got is bridges. Blah 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 blah. You know what? Shut up. I don't care. I was scared by this one. I'd probably be scared by that one too. Isn't that enough? Dear Lord, I'm trying to scare people. It's vacation. We're supposed to have fun and relax. Glad I'm back. It's flat. Not a lot of water. I'm Tim Cain. I miss Florida. I'm here because Austin wants. St. Pete strip clubs, boy, they're really aces. I don't know.